Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Christine and we are here today for what I'm calling Happy Hips practice. It's going to be a hip focused, more relaxed paced class, short and sweet. It will be pre and postnatal friendly as well, and I hope it's something that you can do when you're feeling a bit tight or tense around the hips, the lower back area. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Today I've got my bolster to use. If you don't have a bolster at home, that's fine. You can take a couple of blocks, which would maybe even arguably be better for this practice. Or again, anything you have on hand, books or anything that you can kind of prop yourself up with. So yeah, so we're gonna get started coming into a butterfly shape here with the legs. And as you draw the soles of the feet together, you can take the heels slightly further away from you. So this just gives a little bit more space in the hips. And drawing the palms here to the knees with a nice long spine, we're just going to find a little seated cat-cow. So when you're ready, as you inhale, maybe you soften the gaze or close your eyes, drawing here the ribs, the chest forward, lifting the chin slightly. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, tucking chin to chest, and really feeling the space through the upper back. And continuing to use the breath to guide your movement. Inhale to come forward, and exhale back. And taking this a few more times, just starting to notice the motion through the spine. And just becoming aware of any sensations you're feeling through the hips. Taking one more inhale and exhale. Coming back to a nice long spine here when you're ready. And then exhale, slowly folding forward. Now you can use any props here if you'd like to. Just going to ease into this shape as we soften through the upper body just a little bit. Softening behind the eyes, releasing through the jaw. Maybe you even have a little sway of the head, side to side. And just imagining those knees melting down towards the ground just a little bit more. And staying here for a few more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale out, slowly rolling your spine all the way up. Drawing the palms to the outer thighs as you lift the knees up towards the ceiling. And from here, maybe it feels nice just to find a little sway side to side with the knees. Beautiful. And then taking the right leg long in front, left sole of the foot comes inside the right inner thigh. Flexing through the right foot as you inhale to lengthen up through the spine, and then exhale to slowly fold over top of the right leg, keeping that length through the spine as you start to send that heart or that chest space towards the top of your right foot. Feeling the length down the back of your right leg, feeling into those hamstrings. Really making sure to connect to your breath through each of these poses. Noticing how the breath feels in your body, how you can use it to soften any areas of tension. And taking one more breath in and exhale out. From here, keeping the left leg and the right where they are. As you lengthen through the spine, we're going to take the left ankle on top of the right thigh. So we're going to prep here for a figure 4. Taking the hands behind you, fingertips facing away from you or towards the back of your mat. And then slowly seeing if there's space here to bend into that right knee. Now, the further away the right foot is, the less intense the stretch. If you can walk that right heel closer towards you, the deeper the stretch will be. So you choose. And while you're here, maybe finding just a little sway side to side. Feeling into that left glute, the left hip joint. And then settling into stillness, just a couple more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale out. Slowly releasing the legs as you walk the hands back towards you. And finding here maybe a little shake or sway of the legs if needed. Beautiful. Gonna find the other side, so when you're ready, right sole of the foot comes inside the left inner thigh this time. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine as you flex through the left foot. And exhale slowly, folding over top of the left leg this time. Again, seeing if you can keep the length through the spine, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing down the space in the left hamstring. Imagine that chest moving towards the top of your left foot. Taking one more breath in. And exhale out. Slowly finding that length through the spine. And then taking that right ankle on top of the left thigh. So I was prepping here for a seated figure 4 variation, taking the hands behind you, fingertips facing towards the back of your mat. And then slowly seeing if there's space to bend into that left knee. Adjusting the left foot to wherever feels good for you. And then maybe finding a little bit of movement here. Little sway side to side. And then settling into stillness here for just a couple more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale out. Slowly releasing the legs and walking the hands back towards you. Giving your legs a little shake here. Beautiful. We're going to come over into a tabletop position when you're ready. So bringing knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders, and just coming back into that cat-cow movement. Inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest, and exhale to round. Taking 2 more. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Coming back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to circle through the hips. So we're going to start to send the hips over to the right side, sending them back and down towards the heels, and then over to the left. As you come through center, swapping over in that circular direction. Just noticing how the hips feel as you come through either side. Seeing if maybe you can connect to your breath here. And then circling in the opposite direction. And just feeling into that range of motion, releasing any tightness. And taking one more circle around. And then coming back through center. From here, we're going to take the knees out nice and wide for a wide-legged child's pose, drawing the big toes in towards one another, sending those sit bones back and down. Now, this is where your bolster can come in handy. You can use it down the front side of your body, or you can use a block underneath your forehead, or you can simply draw your forehead down towards the ground. And if you're finding that you're having some feelings of nausea or heartburn, really making sure to find that elevation with the head. If you don't have any props, that's no problem. You can stack one fist on top of the other as well. Making sure to soften as much as possible, sinking back into the hips. And maybe you even take a big breath in here and big exhale out, feeling yourself melting even deeper into your mat. Three more breaths here. One more breath in and exhale out. Slowly taking your time, walking your hands back towards you, lifting the hips up and bringing those knees back underneath the hips. Taking any sways or rocks here that you need. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to come into a lunge position. If there's space, you're going to take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And now if this isn't going to work for you, you can come all the way up here, stepping that right foot out and then dropping the hands back down. So whatever there's space for here. Maybe you take that right foot out even wider, taking the toes out 45 degrees if that feels better. And just again, finding that motion, moving into the hips, seeing what space there is. And then settling into stillness here. You can keep the hands where they are. If you can, if you feel up to it, you can draw the forearms down to a prop or your mat. But again, that's all optional. This is a very deep stretch regardless of where you land. So just taking 3 deep breaths here. And taking one more breath in and exhale out. Now from here you can use your blocks if you have them or your bolster just to find a little bit of elevation here with the hands. I'm just going to come into a little bit of a flow here with our half splits. So big inhale, sending the chest forward. And as you exhale, we're going to send the hips back. We're going to straighten through that right leg any amount, flexing through the right foot if there's space. Inhale to come back into the lunge. Beautiful. 3 more times. Exhale back. Inhale to come forward. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale, holding here. Few breaths. Again, maybe a prop doesn't suit you here. That's okay too. Just breathing down the back of your right leg. Feeling that right hip move back ever so slightly to deepen the stretch. One more breath in. And exhale out, slowly coming back into the lunge. But then we're just going to ease the hips back slightly to take the right knee back next to the left. So coming into that tabletop shape. And taking whatever movements, as always, that you need to help release the body. That could be different from day to day or even moment to moment. So just listening into what your body has to say. And then we're going to find the other side. So getting in again, whichever way feels good for you. Drawing that left foot to the outside of the left hand. You can take those toes out 45 degrees. You can take the foot out wider. And just seeing here what kind of space you have moving into the hips. Just again, moving in any way that feels good. Side to side, forwards and backwards. And then coming into stillness. Wherever you'd like to, again, maybe you come down onto the forearms, or maybe you stay here. Just a few more breaths. Last breath in, and exhale out. Beautiful. If you're on your forearms, walking the hands up and then coming into possibly that slightly elevated position if you did on the other side, inviting in any props. And we're going to find that flow here as you inhale, lifting up the chest slightly, and then exhale, sending the hips back, straightening through that left leg any amount, flexing through the left foot if there's space. Inhale to come forward. 3 more times. Exhale back. Inhale to come forward. Exhale. And inhale. Last one, holding here for 3 breaths, feeling the space on the back of your left leg. Last breath in and exhale out. Slowly coming back, keeping soft through the hips as you slowly send that left leg back next to the right. Beautiful. Again, finding here any sways or rocks that feel nice. Beautiful. Now from here, coming over into a seated position, we're going to come down onto our back. So especially if you are pregnant, we're going to come down very supported onto our side first, and then coming down onto your back. If you are not pregnant, enjoying this practice, or even postpartum, then coming down whichever way you'd like to. From here, we're just going to draw the knees in towards the chest as we just find a nice little rock on the spine, side to side. I'm going to finish out our practice with just a simple twist. You can either keep the legs up in this 90-degree angle and dropping the legs down to the right side. But if it feels more supportive, if you have lots of tension in the hips or the lower back, you can simply, with the soles of the feet on the mat, just drop the legs down to the right. You can invite in that block or bolster between the knees or underneath the right knee. And just making sure, no matter where you are, left shoulder blade is starting to root down into your mats. Maybe you take the gaze in the opposite direction of your knees. And if it feels right, you can either take the arms out wide, or you can take that right hand on top of the left thigh to help deepen and anchor that twist. So just finding any variation of this that feels right for you today. Helping to release out in the spine, creating space. And just giving yourself a few more breaths here. One more breath in and exhale out. Slowly unwinding, bringing the spine back to the mat. Any sways or rocks here that are needed, please take them. And then we're going to take the twist down to the other side as our last final pose before maybe you take a little Shavasana for yourself. So when you're ready, either again dropping the knees down to the left, you can take them up into that 90-degree angle if you'd like, adding or adjusting any props to suit your body, drawing that right shoulder blade down into your mat, and taking possibly the gaze in the opposite direction of your knees. And just connecting to your breath here. Starting to let go of anything that you arrived on your mat with today. Maybe you had a busy mind about your day, about anything that happens. And I just want you to give yourself the permission to let it all go. arriving here in this present moment. You are exactly where you need to be. And taking one more breath in and exhale out, slowly unwinding the spine. Now from here, you can either come into any reclined position, lying on your back. You could possibly come into that butterfly shape. And if you are in the later stages of pregnancy and lying on your back can feel a little bit tense, you can take some time to just roll over onto your side and take your Shavasana that way. Staying here for as long as you need to. I will say my goodbyes now. So thank you so much for taking this time to join my practice. And I appreciate you taking the time to be here. You should thank yourself as well for taking this time to be here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whatever time it is where you are. Thank you.